Oh my gosh. Is it really? 22. Well, I like those dual numbers. 22.
Ooh, I got sober at 22. You got sober at 22.
I know. Yeah. Well, the first time around, my first introduction to it, my first little bout in rehab and all of that back in when I was 22. So, yeah, I've got mom hair today. Today is all about cleaning, getting ready for, for my family to come over for this weekend. We are having Easter at my house, which will be interesting. I don't normally host the parties. Occasionally I do, but my husband's not always you know, uh, so open to cleaning the house and having people over and that kind of thing. So I'm doing a lot of the work. He doesn't have to do anything, just show up. And, of course, everything that I ordered him, or that I ordered for food, he's like, well, I don't eat bagels. I don't eat any of that. And I was like, well, I'll make you something special. So I've got that, 20 eggs in a casserole for him, just for him. He'll probably eat it all by himself. So today I am just focusing on getting the house prepared, getting myself prepared, clearing my space. It's important when you have all those energies coming into your home that you refresh the salt at the doors. Make sure that you clear the energy before, clear the energy after. I know I'll be doing that. A lot of my I'll set up a couple of grids throughout the house, which, are kind of hidden. It doesn't need to be everybody's business about crystals because not everybody in the family, I mean, everybody in my family that's coming today understands me, kind of. I mean, they know me, let's say that. They don't understand me. So, I'll have my little grids and stuff set up. So maybe by the door, I'll put up something to absorb that. And the black salt helps as well. That way, it kind of clears the energy for anybody that's walking in. So I'll just go ahead and refresh all of that before they come. But I did want to talk about a little bit about Easter and the history of Easter, because you see a lot of things on Facebook and stuff. Anytime a holiday comes up, it's like a smear campaign to either discredit it or people are like, well, I love it. And it's like, you can celebrate whatever you want, however you want. There's no rules unless you want to follow rules. I don't follow rules. I make my own rules. So as far as the traditions that I was brought up with and my beliefs now, I tend to kind of incorporate the things that I know is truth and the things that I enjoy into my traditions. So I don't, when as far as Easter and combining it with Christianity, Easter really came from the pagan celebration of the vernal equinox, and the Council of Nicaea, I think, changed it in 352. I want to say 300 and something, 352 is the number coming to me, but I think it was something around there. Where they changed it to follow the full moon after the vernal equinox. So we're still working with moon cycles here, which is interesting. Or the sun, did I say the Saturday, the Sunday after? So we're still working with the moon cycles, and it also incorporates with Passover. So you've got the Jewish holiday intertwined with that. So we've got a lot of different holidays that are kind of all in the same time frame. So I like to incorporate all of those things because there's truths in all of them, and then there's also a lot of falsehood in all of them. So whatever feels right for you is what you celebrate. There's no, like I said, there's no rules to it. So for me, I definitely celebrate the Easter eggs and the Easter egg hunt because that's fun with the kids. We do the Easter bunny. um it's enjoyable and it's fun for my child. I do teach her, and I do explain to her about Ostara and Oestra, however you say it, to incorporate the old traditions. And then also we do talk about the resurrection and all of those things as well. So because Jesus is very much, Yeshua is very much a part of my life. That was something that I shared on Facebook today. I was laying in bed last night and feeling this anxiety. like this anxiety. And I actually was transmuted, or not transmuted, translated into wherever Jesus was at that time, right before the crucifixion. This is in the belief that this actually happened. I don't know. You know what I mean? I wasn't there. I can't say, but I just imagined myself in this time frame and what he must have been feeling like. And so after my near death experience, anytime I've asked him to hold my hands, he comes and he feels my hands. You know, when you do the Reiki and you feel the energy ball, he does that, and my hands fill with energy. So last night when I was having this anxiety, I started thinking about what he was going through, knowing what was to come. Um, and I decided that I was gonna hold his hands this time. And I was like, that's kinda cool, because we think of these ascended masters and, Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, whoever it is that you pray to. We think of them in this, like, holy cloud, but we don't actually think of them as actual people. And for me last night to think you know, of Jesus as an actual person, and that someone that I could, through time and space, reach my hands out and hold his hand and say, "You know what? I'm with you." Instead of asking him to assist me, saying, "I'm with you." Um, and so that's not something I really had thought of doing before. So I thought that was kind of interesting for me last night to, whatever person that we pray to, or whatever, these guides and angels, they are beings, they are energy, and they are out there, and we can connect with them. It's not something that's, floating in a cloud. I mean, maybe if that's how you envision it, but they're real. And we can reach out and touch them, just like they can reach out and touch us if we ask them to. So I want to respond with that. You know what I mean? He helps me quite a bit. So, you know, I get so nervous sharing about Jesus, because I don't, I'm not trying to highlight the religion part of it, I'm going like that. You can see it off the camera. Um, but I don't want to, like, get too religious with it, because I kind of am not, I'm not religious.
Yeah.
I believe in truths. I believe in the truths in every religion and in every every path. But I don't anything like we talked about yesterday. Anything that's fear based, I don't buy into. So as far as Easter goes, I will be celebrating, and and I'll be having fun with it. For me, it's about fertility. It's about um, the earth. It's about growing things, about planting seeds, and that's a lot of what we do with exactly. A lot of what we do is planting seeds for people. A lot of the work that we do is to just speak our truth and to be authentic. And if it plants a seed in someone else and it sprouts in them later on, that's kind of the goal. So anyway, I've been
Exactly. Like, the whole idea that what I was taught about Easter is it's the resurrection. This is the weekend that Jesus was crucified. And he had to, go through the whole process of carrying the cross and all of that. And I don't not believe that. I do believe that that happened. I believe that my personal belief is that, but it's twisted. See, the reason behind all that, the religious people were the ones crucifying him.
mhm.
So why is this a religious holiday? They're the ones that did that to Jesus. So
Well, and
why?
then they took over and whitewashed all of his teachings and watered it down. And you really have to get into the Nag Hammadi and the Dead Sea
And what gave
Scrolls.
us the idea that he liked crosses? I mean, who in the God's name would want to wear a cross and
No.
symbolize
Yeah.
the
Well, I mean, for me, Jesus is alive. He's not gone. I don't celebrate a death. I don't. It's never been about
whole
celebrating the
idea?
death.
The whole idea behind it and what was twisted about it was that yes, he was ascended. He did ascend and he ascended in his body. So he had a bodily ascension. It's not like a death
Right
ascension.
body activation. I mean, that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, the religious people, is that a lot of the teachings and everything that he was doing, he's doing Reiki. He's doing energy healing. He's working on a quantum level. I'm getting chills as I'm talking about this. But he's teaching spiritual practices that
Shaking, had to
that
shake.
religious people consider to be either demonic or the devil, or religions that the Eastern practices and stuff. But a lot of what Jesus was talking about was that. And so you know anyway,
Talk about
we could go
Lazarus.
on and on. We could
I
go
mean,
on and
honestly,
on about that kind of
the,
stuff.
the
But
truth is though, but so like, yeah, so my beliefs growing up were, Easter and all of that and the resurrection. Now it's a little different because, like you said, he's alive. He's very much, and very much around you, and you can tap into that energy anytime you want to. Jesus is really easily to accessible for everyone, just like Archangel Michael. They're just always accessible to everybody. They can be everywhere at once because they're in spirit form.
well, and
Um,
that's kind of what the quantum, if you get into the quantum stuff, there is no time and space and distance, and we're all here now, wherever we want to be, and talking to my dad through the medium, I find the same thing. My dad would say, he's hanging out down in the Keys, drinking a beer and chilling, chilling on the water. But anytime I want to see him, just ask him, and he'll be right there. That's it's like that. There's no separation.
Same. And then with my mom's appointment, she's the one that validated again and confirmed that she is able to talk to ascended masters and, archangels. So here we are. We can all do that now. It's just a matter of tuning in. And once you do that, you have to see, the thing is, it's you and your perception. So, I mean, it's up to you. You're the one that's decides that you want to be in touch with the angels or not. It's up to you. Jesus came here to teach us that we all have the same abilities that he does. We're equals. He's not to be worshipped. He doesn't want us to worship him. He's
Well, and
our brother.
that's exactly what I feel. I don't feel that God wants to be worshipped. I feel like that would be someone who is an ego that wants this glory and this worship. My God just wants to feel love. It wants to experience love, wants to show love, wants to give love, wants to receive love. It's all about love. Worship to me seems man-made, or alien AI made, or whoever came in, and the El, or whatever those people in the Bible, the Elohim or whatever they call themselves, the powerful ones. They are the ones that want to be worshipped, not the all everything, the creator of everything.
I was watching Ancient Aliens too, talking about that. That's why the flood happened. It wasn't to, we were taught that the flood happened to get like the humans off and all this stuff, but we were all protected. That's the whole thing, is we were all protected, and the only people that got wiped off the earth were the Elohim, the ones that were actually eating
Well,
humans.
the giants, and the other things
And
that
that,
are all covered up now.
yeah, but that was our, and what our idea of aliens is extraterrestrial. Well, extraterrestrial are angels, and angels are extraterrestrial. They're not from this planet. They're
Mhm.
not from
I
Terran.
mean, I think just like humans, there's good and bad ones. You know what I mean? I mean, not to label things, but I think that there are some with good intentions and some with bad intentions. And so just because somebody is coming to you and they're like, I'm an angel, well, you know, I'm pretty sure Lucifer was
On
considered an
your
angel too, so
where this, and again, this is where our intentions come in, because the purer your intentions are, the purer the entities around you. And then of course your intentions are to protect yourself from those darker entities. It happens automatically. It's just based on your own personal intention, and it takes practice. But yeah, everybody has that ability. That's what Jesus was trying to teach us.
yeah. Well, and that's why they didn't want him teaching that, because they want the money. They want you to come and have to pray to them. They want
Want
you to
the
follow their
control.
traditions, their
Want the
rituals, the
control.
control, the control.
Want you to
Yeah.
bow down to them and give them your 10%.
And
And
yeah, and once you figure out that you can access God right here, through the moon and the stars and the sun in your backyard, you don't
every
have to
day,
go
right
anywhere, that it's in your heart, that it's
now,
here, then you know that you're powerful, and you can change, you can create, you can pull what you want into you, you can push away what you don't want, that we have this power. They don't want us to know that, because then we're not paying them to tell us that, or to hide that from us. And I don't consent to any of that anymore.
I don't
I don't think I ever consented to it in the beginning. I was just kind of forced into it,
I was
through upbringing.
in religion myself. Like I said, I accepted Christ in my 6 years. and I believed in all this baptism and stuff, and but
Oh, I know. My daughter and I had our own little unbaptism, like baptizing ourselves into spirit, our own little initiation.
which
Um,
is because honestly, but the thing is, like I found out with my parents that have crossed over and the mediumship appointments. I mean, they keep sending me messages now. So I mean, they're just sending me like clarifying messages, and it's nice because now I know that they're coming from my parents. I know where those messages are coming from now. Like before, it was hard for me to discern where exactly the messages were coming from,
yeah.
but now that I've tapped into that, like it's so helpful because now I can understand that when my parents are actually sending me messages, and they're sending me a lot of this information that I'm, like as confirmation that yes, Jesus is an ascended master. He came here to teach us how to heal people. We all have Reiki, and if you look into Reiki and you go into the history of Reiki or whatever, however you want to pronounce it, the whole idea behind it is, how was Jesus healing people? Let's do the same thing that Jesus was
Yeah.
doing. That's where it comes from.
Well, and
And
there
then
are a lot of religions like Pentecostal where they do believe in the laying of hands and that kind of thing.
I did
Um,
all
yeah.
that too.
So, I mean that it does tie into a lot of the different religions. And one of the ladies that does the Reiki with me, she's attuned in the Holy Fire Reiki, which
Yep.
I find extremely interesting because it's a little different than what I was attuned in. Um, and I love hi Miss Chrissy. um, so, sorry, I get distracted easily. I've got this little bee that likes to hang around and he's buzzing around everywhere. Oh, and there's a bunch of them. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
they all fight for territory over me. Sorry. But that's for me, that's a sign when I've got animals and wildlife that just gravitate towards me. That's a sign that they feel the love and the joy
Like,
that's radiating from me. They feel my vibration. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of them, and they're not afraid of me. I found this little tiny snake the other day. After I was doing all that work with the clearing the snake grid, whatever it was, I don't have any fear of snakes or anything like that. I found this little baby snake about this big, curled up, and I was just scooting him along. And now I got a little frog in my seedlings. I'm trying to grow seeds, and this frog has just like put himself in my seeds, and I'm like, get out of here, please. I don't want to. I don't like. I'm not gonna touch it. You know what I mean? I'm not. I still don't. Not not gonna touch it
I told you,
myself with
I
my
told her
fingers, but
to, you guys, I told her on Facebook to just put out a deck
just
and
put a little
a
hot tub for it. He'll just chill
you know,
there. Yeah.
just send a little lawn chair out there for him. He'll be just,
Yeah.
he
But
moved it.
I know.
Just,
No, he's still chilling. I went out there a couple times and I tried to prod him, try to get him out of there, but no, he just wants to chill. I'm just gonna have to go buy some more seeds because I think he's probably disrupted the growth process, at least one or two of them. So I raised them up a little bit to hopefully keep them protected. But wildlife's gonna do what wildlife's gonna do, and
pretty much.
it's all part of nature. I mean, we have to learn how to live. And there's a beautiful butterfly. I know I didn't catch it on camera. It didn't fly in front. Um, but this yellow butterfly has just been flying all over the place. Um, but wildlife's going to do what wildlife's going to do, and it's not our job to clear it away. And I'm not spraying insecticides. I'm not trying to get these things to go away. I maybe around the borders of my house on the inside, just to keep them, but salt also helps with that too. And then there's also natural ways to keep them off the plants, whether it's boiling orange peels and putting that in water, boiling orange peels with water and then putting that on your plants. That's a natural way to keep the bugs off of your plants, and you don't have to spray all of these cancer causing chemicals on everything and then eat, because I'm growing food to eat. um I don't know if you saw that bee just buzz by. He's hanging out. He literally just buzzes, and he'll just hang out right here, like just right there, like staring at me. He'll come right up. And if I'm not paying attention, he will come and buzz in my ear.
Can't
It's
handle
it's crazy.
Creeps me out so bad. I get those same big old bees. They're giant bees. They love
Yeah.
it and they love my
Yeah.
tree. They love my tree, but they get in my house and they just kind of hover around. I had to lock one in the bathroom. It broke through the screen. I was like, Jane, that was a strong bee, dude.
Well, they do burrow through the wood. I mean, the carpenter bees, they can
Please
do
don't
quite a
come
bit
in my
of damage.
house.
Well,
I
the
love
good
you, but
thing
don't
is
come in my house.
our house
Get
doesn't
out.
have wood. We have concrete siding, but they do love my daughter's playground quite a bit. So, but you know what? I used to put up those bee traps, and I stopped doing that because I don't want to kill them.
Yeah.
My whole way of being has changed quite a bit, and where I'm honoring life now. I let them do what they're going to do. I'm in their world, and they're in mine, and it's not that I'm you know we have to learn how to live together as opposed to saying this is mine and you can't have it. You know what I mean? That's part of the brotherly love and the being one with all is sharing. And that's where I want to be. That's how I envision new earth. That's how I envision um, ascension. That's how I envision how I want to live is being one with all, and that includes nature. That includes the smallest bug. There was a spider inside. What did I do? I went and got a cup and a piece of paper, and I put it back outside. My husband's ready to squish it, and I'm like, I hope that one day somebody bigger than me comes along and says, you know what, you're not supposed to be here, but let me help you to get where you need to go.
Yeah,
And
I'm outside
so,
there. Big. I get spiders here all the time too, and it was a pretty big one. And this time, I didn't freak out. I just looked at it and I said, "You scared the shit out of me." And I was like, "You need to go," and it ran. But I was like, I'm trying to. I don't want to kill it, but it also scared the shit out. And I know that one, that particular type, keeps all of the other bad bugs away too. Because I live in the desert, so we have like scorpions and stuff, vinegaroons and all kinds of fun stuff. And so
yeah, I've
those,
never even heard of that. I couldn't even imagine being in Australia. Like I see some of the pictures and I'm like, no, I'll stay here.
I'll pass on that. But yeah, and also this weekend is well, it's my dad's birthday tomorrow. He was born for 840 originally. And that was awesome that I got to talk to him on Thursday. And my dad, I swear, I'm gonna get into a little bit more with my dad because I want to know his angelic name because I felt like his angelic presence really strongly. And I'm gonna get into that, but he was an Aries.
You
I
see him?
I see him. He's interacting with you.
Yeah,
Um,
he's like, I want to be on camera.
love it. I love it. But
Sorry.
also on the 10th, oh, you're good. On the 10th is actually my anniversary for my awakening.
Hmm.
My actual the day that okay, so on 4/10/2020, I watched a program or a documentary rather called Out of Shadows. And it was about
And that's one that they will not let you share on Facebook. I'll tell you that.
it is blocked. So you have to look that shit up on your own. I can't even share it. So um anyways, I got about, I don't know, halfway through and I had to stop because I absolutely was devastated by what it was talking about. And it hit me so hard that I had to stop watching it and then pick it up the next day and then pick it up the next day and I couldn't stop crying. And
Well,
it
the
just
thing
really
that
hit me.
stuck out with me was when in that program when they talked about the children and the women and how do you think that they are being healed. They do this trauma to them and then they heal them so they can do it again. But not that part gets pretty dark, but the potential for understanding how much healing we can actually do. That's what I took away from that is that we are more powerful than we're led to believe, and that if these people that know how to do this are capable of doing it and they're working in the darkness and we're working in the light, then all we have to do is learn how to unlock that so that we can begin that healing process for ourselves and those around us. And
Yeah.
this little bee who likes to hang out. That's they feel it. You know what I mean? Like he just hangs out with me all day. This is what I do all day. Is we just hang out. Like,
But
and I
yeah,
know it's a boy because he's got the little yellow mark on his forehead. So I was calling him Martha. I had to rename him Martin or
that's awesome.
something.
But I got through that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started getting like I started like getting interested like what is Q and all of that. And I got into that a little bit. And then I backed out of it because I'm not much into all of that, to be honest with you. I was in it for a few months and I lost my account because of it. But anyway, so I backed out of it. But the thing is, I walked through that shadow into the light, and I started doing. I found the Q map, and I had that on my website. I can still try to share it later, but anyways, and I found the Galactic Federation, and I was like, what is the Galactic Federation? And then, into the news, into the light.news. And I started reading Jesus's accounts as an ascended master, and like people downloading and like channeling. And I see him. I see
He
him.
just
He's
wants to hang out. I'm sorry. I'm so distracted. I'm
so
paying
okay.
attention. He's
He's
just he just
awesome.
really wants to be noticed. He's fighting off all the other bees. But this
I
is
love
what I
it.
do every day. I literally just sit here and hang out with him.
It's so
He fights off all the
appropriate.
other bees too. It's
It's
hilarious.
it's so
Um,
appropriate though for our topic today because of Easter. But
Yeah, I mean, spring
yeah,
is
I just
sprung. We're alive. I mean, it kind of ties into the vernal equinox conversation that we were having a couple episodes back. With different traditions and things like that. But I think it's important to find out about, like reading or listening to the Christ letters. That for me was eye opening to see it, channeled. I believe it's a woman that wrote a book that channeled Jesus and then talked about his life. If I'm not mistaken. Um,
This is the Magdalene manuscript because we were taught so much bullshit about her, about Mary
oh, I
Magdalene.
know.
I was
Yes,
taught so much
absolutely.
bad stuff about her. But anyways, I went through all of that, you guys. But the point on all I'm trying to say is, it was all just a process of awakening for me. You know what I mean? And all I did was follow my intuition and what was interesting to me and what lit my fire, and that's what I followed, and that's what I try to continue to do. And that's what I think the whole point of me telling my story is to follow your fire. What interests you, what is drawing you in, because follow that. That's you. Like, you set that up because you have like little Easter eggs, you know what I mean? Like, you hidden those Easter eggs for yourself so you
Well,
can wake yourself up later in life. And
oh, here comes the butterfly. Oh no, can't see it. Sorry. I know. I just need to turn my camera around and show you guys the wildlife that's going on out here. Sorry.
that's a
Um,
no.
when I first woke up, I had such a hard time celebrating any holiday because I saw the truth. I was learning all of the truths and everything and seeing the lies that we've been told. And so I really was like, I don't want to celebrate any of this stuff. I think it was I was really getting into my awakening near Halloween, and I saw all the demonic stuff that came out, that it was bringing. And so I shied away from a lot of that at first. Um, Now I've learned that it's all about my intentions, and so I have the power to celebrate, anything that I want, and I can change its intentions. And in fact, I think it's important that we do celebrate the holidays and that we change the intentions of them.
It is
Um,
very
I
important.
think that it's very much needed. And it's also important to honor the old traditions, the old ways. And so I think I'm grateful that a lot of that has been whitewashed and covered up because it's continued on. Just like Jesus's message was whitewashed and continued on, it didn't matter because his truths are still there.
Yeah.
His name is still there. And so when people are ready to wake up, they learn the truth of his life, the truth of his ascension, the truth of Mary Magdalene. These are all things you know that are hidden from us, but they're hidden in plain sight. And I'm grateful for that because it keeps the message, hidden. And then when you're ready to know it, it comes to you. We have these Akashic records. We have these records that are kept for ourselves. And when we're activated, when that comes to us, the truth, we're enlightened with it.
Yeah, just like this came to me right now. It Our ancestors and our ancestors' ways that were actually pure and counteracted a lot of the things that are being put out today because most people don't know about the things that are being put out today, like even just the English language, right? Spelling and all of that.
Mhm.
So our ancestors' way of coming back is coming back through us, through our intuition. And as we are activating our DNA, their ways are coming back to us
Mhm.
through us.
Yes.
So that's why we're getting ideas on how to light an altar. That's why we're getting new recipes that are coming through to cook. That's why we're
Well, I mean,
getting a
look at what
tincture.
happened with me with my tinctures and with my oils. All I was doing literally was sitting in my kitchen making little potions, following my intuition. And I went into the shop intending to sell crystals that I had mined and some candles that I had made. And boom, 3 weeks later, I've got a thousand, a 2,000, I think $2,700 worth of product in their store ready to sell. In 3 weeks. And that all came from me following my intuition, me
That's
following that guidance. I was
how
just literally in my kitchen being a kitchen witch, you know, cooking up stuff, and realized when I went into the store, they're like, well, what else do you do? I was like, well, I make oils, I make tinctures, I make, I can make candles, I can make crystals. I mean, not make crystals. I can, make you know
we
body stuff. I can, anything. And the thing is that my intentions behind them are for healing. And so anybody that purchases my products, they're getting healing. um they're getting natural healing, and everything's infused with reiki as well, so there is like multiple layers of healing. And so my everything that I've been doing with myself, healing myself, is now available for my community to heal themselves. And I'm sure it's just a small amount of people that are going to go to the store and purchase these things, but the people that I am able to touch, I'm so grateful for, because
yeah.
that's part of my path. There I have a friend who I've just recently met on Facebook who's also an herbalist. She just moved to Perry, Georgia from Douglasville, which is the town over from me. And she said in one of her comments that she moved out of the area so that I could take over. Spiritually, we're these beacons, these lighthouses, and so we shine our light. That she, for whatever reason, she was meant to move where she is so that I could heal this area.
That's
You know,
interesting. I felt that way too because Elizabeth April was here. She lived in Joshua Tree with me while I was in Joshua Tree, in here, obviously. During the pandemic and the lockdowns, they were all here. Like she and her wife were living here in Joshua Tree. And I was like, oh my God. And that was part of my awakening too. It was, confirmation for me and such, and then so I listened to her. But anyways, the whole idea was that she came and then, but I was here and then she ended up leaving. And I was like, well, oh, and that's why we come and go. We just come and go. And we each have a
yeah,
different
and we're
signature.
meant to heal our areas. Our vibration, everything that we're doing to raise our own vibration raises everything around us. I think of myself as an island that is rising from the sea. So I can envision myself as this lone island that's all alone, not able to touch anybody, or I can look at myself as rising from the sea. And what happens when I rise from the sea? Everything around me comes up too. And I'm getting
Yeah,
chills as I'm talking about this. So I'm no longer alone. I'm I'm I started out as this lone project, this lone person all alone on this little tiny island all alone. And by raising my frequency, I'm raising everything from the depths, and it's coming up, so we're all rising, everything around us. And so that there's all of us posted all over the world, we're all doing that in our locations. And that's the awesome part about this, is that the Christ consciousness, Jesus coming back, is coming through us. It's not that Jesus, I don't know, whether he's gonna descend, and but I don't think that's how how they in religion, so they talk about Jesus coming back. I think it's completely different. He's coming back through the light workers, through the
he's
people that
gonna
are
come back.
connected
See,
to him.
look, he's not gone. All we have to do
Yeah.
is reach our vibration to match theirs.
Yeah.
Once we reach our vibration to match theirs, we can see them.
Yeah.
Until then, we can't see them.
Mhm. And
They're
we
there.
know that they're here. I feel him. I feel, and I don't want to just focus on Jesus. I feel all the ascended masters. Whether I'm working with Kuan Yin, or whether I'm working with Buddha, or whether I'm working with I don't know how to say it, Lao Tzu, or Lao
I
Tzu.
can't pronounce
That
any of those
that
names
I
either.
know. The Eastern names are a little harder for me to say, but I don't say their names.
Like,
I
yeah,
ask their energy to
my
come
mom.
and work with me, and so I'm constantly working. Whether it's Saint Germain, or whoever I'm working with. Um, they're all here now. They haven't gone anywhere. The thing is that they're in a different dimension than I am, and so it's my responsibility to raise my frequency, to raise my vibration, so that I can connect with them. And in the same token, we can lower our frequency and connect with the darker entities, the darker energies.
Mhm.
So it's all in your intention and what you want to do.
It's true. It's
You
true.
know,
And these are the things, these are the teachings, these are the Gnostics. These are, the teachings that Jesus had for us. And he was
what's funny, when I started reading the Nag Hammadi, I started
bad.
understanding quantum physics. Like,
Same.
it's so weird. It's like a part of my brain that I didn't even know was there started activating. And it
Mhm.
was like, oh my gosh, I started
Yeah.
getting all of these messages. Like,
That's
all
what
of these
happened.
messages.
It was
Like,
my
it
anniversary.
was like all of these truths are hidden in it. And that's why they changed the words. That's why they translated it to English. That's why it's been touched by so many hands, so that all of the quantum energy that's hidden in it would be diluted, but it's still there. And that's the cool thing. But when you read the Dead Sea Scrolls, it's it's more authentic, so it's more powerful. Do you know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? If that makes any sense.
Exactly. Absolutely. Because right after my awakening, one of the things I went into was spiritual healing. The other one was to, like I said, look up the books that were removed from the Bible that have been confirmed by the Dead Sea Scrolls or other ancient texts that have been around the world. Okay. What is it? Spirit Science on YouTube was really good for me to look up that information, because they have an animated series and they break it down really easy for people, so that you can understand it and understand where the information comes from, because it's absolutely valid. And it all ties together. There's same stories, but from different texts, ancient, all the way around the world. China, the Dead Sea Scrolls, et cetera, et cetera. You can look that shit up by yourself. But honestly,
The bees going in a circle above my head if I'm like looking like a dog chasing my tail. Sorry.
no, I've been,
I just
yeah,
want to show something real quick. It was supposed to rain the last 2 days. It was supposed to be really rainy, and that was my dog. But look at this.
that's
Look at,
awesome.
look at that. That is because I'm sitting outside and I am caught. You know what I mean? Like, my energy. I'm like, I don't want it to rain, so it doesn't rain. And when I'm ready to let it rain, then it will rain. So tomorrow, it's all right if it rains. I'm all right with that. So,
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
know that it will. The thing about the rain cycles is that I honor the rain. I'm grateful for the rain when it does come, and it's funny how it works with me. When it's raining outside, my daughter will wake up and she'll say, "Mom, I'm ready to go outside and make it stop raining." And we go, we honor the rain, we honor the earth, and we thank and we show our gratitude, and then the rain stops. It's almost like the earth just wants to be seen and heard. And I know that rain is necessary. We need to water our plants, we need to water ourselves. It's cleansing. There's, not to look at it in a bad light, but so we don't look at it in a bad way. We go out there and we show our gratitude for it. And then instead of getting these monsoons, where it's just a downpour, it's almost like the earth is crying out, and she's like, "Listen to me, please hear me." And when you go outside and you say, "I hear you, Mother Earth, I see you, I love you," then she's like, "I've been acknowledged." If that makes Does that make any sense to you?
It
Like,
does. Yeah, it does, absolutely. There's so much going on, and the like the rain really just has the energy of cleansing, and so it's like it and rain is basically just washing away all the crap, like just like when we cry, we're releasing all of that toxicity. And you can even look at the tears under microscopes, and different emotions change the way the water molecules look like
I
it
know.
really matters. So tears and water have a way of cleansing, and so definitely I definitely agree with you on that, with the rain being very cleansing. And here in the desert, like we of course I just let it rain, please, because
Yeah, you
It
guys
can be
don't get quite as
destructive,
much.
can
I
be
know,
very
I'm like, "I'll send some rain down your way."
just not
Yeah.
enough because it doesn't absorb into the ground like it normal ground. It stays
Yeah.
on top, and so we have flash floods and stuff. So we have washes where the water just can be directed out to the desert because yeah, you'll get washed away out here. I'm right next to a wash actually where the water goes when there's flash floods.
Yeah, we get flash flood warnings all the time. I haven't myself experienced one, but we get the
I,
warnings all the time too.
yeah,
What's funny is since I've started my beliefs with control, believing that I have power over the weather, my weather app doesn't work. I'll go to look and see what the weather's going to be for the day, and my weather app won't work, and I'll get the message, you haven't decided what it's going to be today, and I'm like, I just start laughing. I'm like, my husband will text me, when can we plant these, or when can we put down the weed and feed or whatever. I'm like, hold on, I'll check the weather. It's like I need to check with myself first. What am I deciding? When can he do it?
exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, well, I've got a whole host of things that I've got to get done today. I boiled my Easter or my eggs. I get a friend or I get my eggs from a local friend who has her own chickens, and so the eggs are beautifully colored already. So I can't wait to see what they come out looking like because they're already blue and brown. So I kept them. I kept the lightest colored ones aside for coloring Easter eggs. My daughter's going to be home soon, and
That's
so
awesome.
we're gonna do that together, and her little friend's gonna come over, and we'll have a nice little afternoon, and then she's gonna go back over her friend's house. So I love her new friend because I get all of this time to just be
Awesome.
me. Um, so I'm gonna head here in just a second. Do you want to do a reading?
Yeah,
You
I
do a
just have
little
a couple.
Reiki.
Yeah, I just if you want to do Reiki while I read, I just got four cards, but I pulled
Okay.
unbound, unbound, releasing patterns, releasing patterns, and contracts in past lives. Very appropriate. Some of
Well,
us are
and
ending
my
places.
name means to be bound. Literally means to tie or bind. Rebecca.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, unbound. So releasing old soul patterns, contracts in past lives. So we're letting go of what no longer serves us. We're cutting ties. We're cutting attachments with things that no longer serve us. And we're moving forward with our heart dance, right? We're listening to our heart so that we can do what is intended, right? We can do what we have plans, right? We have soul contracts with ourselves. Like we aren't going to be bound by people, places, and things that no longer serve us. So we need to let that stuff go and align our life, right?
Hmm.
What's not aligned? What needs to change? I don't know why I'm getting these messages. Maybe it's something I'm going through this.
Get yourself in alignment, Joy.
Yes.
I
Longing
know.
for
I
belonging, the original light workers, right? This is me. I've been calling for home. I just want to go home. But if you feel like that, then you're in the
yeah,
right. You're
I
in the
went
right.
through that feeling of wanting to be somewhere else for a long time, and then I started realizing home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is. It's where your heart is.
Exactly. But home is where the heart is, and if it's not home, then when you got to follow your heart. You got to follow your heart. You can't force feelings. You can't let people force you. You can't let people tell you what you feel. You can't let other people make decisions for you because you have a mission and God has a plan for your life. And you
Well,
can't
yeah,
just.
we have to stop listening to the people in the physical world and start listening to the people that are on our spirit team.
And by God, I mean you, because we have our own plans. Like I just said, the plans that we have are God's, but there are plans that we made before coming in here. So it's not that we're aligning with God's will, we're aligning with our own true will, the will that we came in with when, before everything destroyed us, before life
Well,
happened.
yeah, we've spent a lifetime listening to other people and letting them dictate what we're going to do with our life. And, all of that, it's taken us to a place where we're now rebelling and saying, you know what, I've had enough of this. It's time for me to listen to me. It's time for me to listen to the God in my heart, the God of my love, and to follow my heart. um, no longer will I allow anyone else to tell me that this is what's right for me. That might be right for you, but that's not what's right for me.
Yeah,
And
and
I honor everyone and their truth as far as it's concerned with them, but I honor myself first. And so your truth is not my truth. My truth is not your truth. Our truths are individual, and we all have our own paths to take, our own lessons to learn, and our own battles to fight.
a lot of us are individual teachers, and we teach what we need to teach to reach the audience that we need to reach. And maybe my audience isn't the same as that person's audience. So the information is different, and it's different. And it doesn't mean it's bad or wrong. It's just different, and it doesn't resonate. That's why you move on to someone else that does. It's not that big a deal. And you
Well,
don't
and
even need to
for
shame that.
some periods of time, someone will resonate with me, and then I will outgrow them. So, there's certain teachers, like when I first started waking up in 2020 2009, I found Eckhart Tolle, and now Eckhart Tolle, it's just it doesn't appeal to me. Other people have sent me videos, with Abraham Hicks and things like that, and that's never really resonated with me.
Yeah.
But there's just certain people that resonate with me and certain people that don't resonate with me, whether it's the resonance in their voice, their frequency, whatever it is, as we're rising and in our frequency,
Our
certain
bodies will
people
be able
will.
to tell. We can
Yes.
tell what fear-based programming is now. Like we can tell what manipulation is now. Our soul does not let you lie to yourself. You can no longer be fake. You can no longer pretend. Your light is on fire. It's getting hotter and brighter, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop you. They can try to put your light out, but it ain't gonna work because we're past that point now. So we just have to let go and trust that we have us, I have me, you have you. Of course we have each other because we support each other, but
Yes, and we're rising in frequency together. So, I mean,
and
and there might be one day where we just decide that, we're going on our own paths, and that's fine if that day comes.
that's
But
fine too.
for right now, I'm your support, you're my support. And, I love riding this ride with you, riding this wave. And I feel like if we can assist anyone else to understand, to search for your own path, don't follow me. Don't follow me if it's not meant for you.
Yeah,
But do follow me if what I say is resonant to you, if it
it makes
resonates
sense.
with you.
And if
You
it
know?
makes sense to you and it's something that it hits you,
Yeah,
that's
like my husband, he's like, "Well, you need to do this to get followers." And I'm like, "I'm not looking for followers." A leader,
that's
like you posted something about a leader doesn't look for followers. A leader just leads the way.
yeah, we're
Or
showing
something.
you
I can't remember what exactly the
yeah.
post said, but the
I
leader's just the one that goes first. Yeah, something to that, and that's. It's not that I'm looking for people to follow me. It's just that I'm taking this road, and I'm going to follow my road, and I'm not looking for anybody else to follow my road with me. If our lines are parallel and our paths are parallel for a time being, then come on, let's go. I'll support you. You support me. And when our paths split, then there's no attachment. You know what I mean? It's all love. I honor you. I honor everything. I honor the earth. I honor the sky. I honor, the wildlife. It's all about honoring one another and allowing everybody to do what it is that they need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But all right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get on my road and you go on yours, and we'll meet back here in a little while.
See you guys later.
All right.
Adios. You guys have a good day.
Love everybody. All right. Bye.